presented by Express.com.
Are you ready? I hope so.
Every fashion season, thousands of young girls try to realize their dreams of becoming top models.
My friends were all shocked when I said I wasn't going to college right away.
In front of the camera, she does something different, I guess. I'm just worried about her becoming too famous.
I grew up in Logansport, Indiana, and then I moved to Arizona to go to university. The end of my first year, I got scouted.
My aunt called me and she told me if I want to go to a casting for a model. And I say, well, yes, let's go.
When she first came into my office, I remember that I said, she has the height, but isn't she strange? But then she has like something in the eye.
Cateau, Madeline, and Austria were in the development phase, during which models proved themselves on the long, hard runways of New York, London, Milan, and Paris. Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in New York was the girls' first challenge. Success leads to success, so momentum was key. The models started going on castings immediately. If they didn't get cast, they wouldn't get paid. Hundreds of new girls are trying out for only a handful of slots.
All right, thank you.
Did she get it?
I'm so happy.
Cateau and Austria rocked the New York runways, from Mark by Mark to DKNY. Madeline booked shows as well, but not as many as she had hoped. Madeline needed a strong showing in London to stay on track.
Okay. You think, though, that she's gonna have to go back to the States?
Oh, God.
Border agency detained Madeline.
Madeline's working papers had expired and she was deported back to the US. Cateau and Austria hit the ground running.
2 hours and 10 minutes late. Let's hope the clothes look perfect.
I want to sleep.
The pace was beginning to take its toll on Austria. Cateau seemed to be hitting her stride. And Madeline, still stuck in New York, was in limbo. Back in London, Austria only booked 3 shows. Cateau's mother was still not convinced she wanted her to model at all.
Most people think it's very irresponsible of us letting her do this because they feel it's like a very shallow profession.
But seeing her walk the runway made her realize her daughter was doing something special. Up next was Milan, considered the most challenging and coveted city for a new model.
Everybody wants to book Prada. Everybody wants to be the new face. If you open for Prada, you go from new model to top model instantly.
I might not get it, but I don't know. I have to be positive, so I think I get it.
If I don't get it this time, I already did Prada once.
Milan's really, really difficult, especially if you don't have long hair and very pale skin.
I think they don't like people of color.
It's all different in Paris. It's a whole new ballgame.
Not only did Madeline and Austria not book Prada, they had yet to book a single show in Milan. But Cateau's star continued to rise.
I just wanted to tell you that you got Prada.
No! Without any bookings, Madeline and Austria left for Paris, while Cateau walked the biggest show in Milan. Paris is the last stop of the fall fashion season and the last chance for new models to make a name for themselves before heading into the campaign season. Madeline and Austria needed a win.
Bon courage, bonne journée.
If you're meeting a casting director, I want you to look them in the eye and shake their hand, and I want you to come off as strong, and I want you to come off as confident. This is a business where you gotta compete, and it's sort of like if you can't do it, then maybe you can't do it.
Maybe it's just too early for her. Sometimes, just send a girl home.
I can go back to my old school, to my old friends, like nothing happened.
Paris had been Madeline's last chance to prove herself on the runway.
It's not like I'm doing some shows, I haven't booked any shows, and it makes me look really bad. Everybody's so sorry, and they love me, and they're happy I'm back in Paris, but everybody wants Cateau. I'm just pissed off. I'm so pissed off, I'm just done.
While Madeline and Austria continued to struggle, Cateau had booked 9 shows. She was feeling the pressure of success.
Some people say it's harder to stay on top than to get on top. It's really unreal. It can be over tomorrow.
Madeline and Austria did finally book a show, and Madeline booked an editorial shoot on the streets of Paris. It wasn't the runway, but it was the boost she needed to regain her confidence.
Wasting all my time, don't wanna stand in line to get to you.
With Paris behind them, Cateau and Madeline made their way back to New York for campaign season, while Austria headed home to regroup and walk in Dominican Fashion Week. Austria had never opened or closed a show. At Dominicana Moda, she did both.
If I have to look in the crystal ball, that girl is gonna have an extraordinary career.
I want to do this. I don't want to go back to my home, do nothing. I feel that I have all that I need to be a model.
Madeline booked 2 shoots in her first week back in New York, proving that a modeling career is within her grasp.
I think I'm a really good model. I can really give any photographer what they want.
She's somebody that is absolutely committed, but didn't have that acceptance in Europe.
The no's turned into yeses if the person really wants it and can withstand the rejection.
Cateau quickly booked 3 shoots in New York. The time to choose between the normal life and the model life was now.
You know, you have to ask yourself what makes me happiest. I want to be a top model. Why do this if you don't want to be a top model?
Right now, she's feeling all the success, but there might come a time too when it's not a good season. Every top model has had an experience of no, and it's what you do with that. Do you crawl under a rock, or you say, you know what, it didn't work out, and move on? You can see it actually in all 3 of these women. They're determined to make it, and that's the difference between a model and a star.